Hi, thanks for coming back on, Mark.
No problem.
Firstly, I think we should start with Saturday against Arsenal. What does that performance say about the team?
I think that performance says a lot more than the result. The result is 3 points. It's exactly what we needed to collect, especially after maybe the performance against Chelsea wasn't what we wanted as a group. But when I look at that game, like it's the closest thing to a Manchester United men's performance as I've probably ever seen with this team. So it was a never say die attitude, the quality of the goals. And you know what? When it went to 2-1 down, I didn't feel like we were going to lose the game, and that's such a nice place to be.
Yeah. With the result in mind, how would you assess the season so far?
I mean, look, I'm always going to be biased, but I'm also honest. So I think that we've performed very well in games, but periods of games. So I don't think we've had particularly brilliant performances throughout the whole of the 90s. Against Chelsea, I felt that we kind of let ourselves down a little bit in terms of the quality that we expect. And obviously we've raised it again against Arsenal. So all in all, if you'd have said to me after 7 games that we've got 18 points, I think I'd have taken that. So I'm happy the points tally. And do you know what as well, mate? The things that do impress me, look at how many different goal scorers we've got.
Yeah.
So if you stop one threat, we can score another way.
Yeah.
Look at the different variants of goals that we've scored, and barring the last 2 games, which against top opposition that you play regularly, we've not conceded a goal in the league.
Yeah.
So that shows a lot. I mean, there's loads of progressions in there.
Yeah.
Loads of progression. So now I come to think of it, it's been a positive start.
It's the Old Trafford game soon.
Yeah.
How excited are you and the team to be back playing there again?
I mean, it's where we want to play. It's where we aspire to fill out and play. So, I think it's important, obviously, that we get our magnificent fans in that stadium, as many as we possibly can, to pack it out, to make it such a fortress as it is for the men's team and obviously the youth teams when they play there. It's really important that we look at that. So, look, we can't wait.
Is there anything you learned from the last game at Old Trafford that you can take with you into this game?
I mean, it was the first proper game again where the players couldn't hear us communicating with them. So what was great the other night against Arsenal was the fact that the players' game management was actually clear to see. Everybody was at the right times. Mary would kick long instead of playing short. It was a managed performance. We got together after the second goal to discuss, because they know they couldn't hear us all the time. I think that would help us going into this game. But for us, really, it's utilising the pitch. The pitch is big, wide, and utilising it in the 1v1 moments, I think, and starting well. I don't obviously think we concede after 5 minutes, so for us, it'd be starting well and making sure we push that through the game.
What role will the fans have in that game for you?
I think the fans have, only to the second to the players, the most important role, because, we can get, if we perform like we have been this season, we'll give them everything to sing about. And you know how loud they can be anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel that we can get a lot of momentum from them. They can be our energy when we need them. Again, long may COVID times stay in the past, but actually to feel the crowd, the other day, I can't tell you the emotion that we as staff, as players, felt. And when I saw the players and when I watched the players back running away to the fans, I mean, that is the facial expressions on all the players.
Yeah.
Tells you everything you need to know.
I mean, Martin Howe at the end. Yeah. I mean, I've got footage of him going mental. It was brilliant to see that.
I think everyone did. I think online I said that I'd invented dance moves because of the way that I was spinning and pirouetting. So yeah, look, everybody had a moment where, for 1 second, you actually forgot where you were.
Yeah.
And isn't that what football at the highest level should do? And that was under us the best all round, because actually we deserved that result. It wasn't a lucky result, we deserved it. And so we've got to take that into this game coming up. What's
been your biggest challenge so far this season?
Probably not unexpected, but managing a bigger squad.
Yeah.
We've got players that want to play, players that have lots of qualities, but results would show you that actually the steadiness of the team has been the consistency, but their qualities will show throughout the season, and they don't always remember that, because in the moment a player wants to play.
Yeah.
So that's been for sure the most difficult part, but it's something that we need because we want to compete in European competitions in the future. We're going to need depth, and the quality of depth we have. Just unfortunately, fortunately we've recruited players of that ilk that have the standard that want to play.
Yeah.
So that'll be the most difficult part so far this season.
Overall, do you have a favourite moment as manager of Manchester United so far?
I think the Old Trafford game is special. This game that we've just finished was a special moment because I felt that it was a big psychological moment for us. It was literally a stamp of our growth. Without sounding cheesy, every game is but you are like you never know how long you're in the job for.
Yeah.
So every game that I'm able to represent the club, represent the fans, is huge for me. Big moment coming back. So the first game coming back, the Reading game, was huge. So there's lots and lots of milestones that are important. But I think performance-wise, the consistency we're showing right now is a real good factor for us.
So how do you feel like the team is progressing under you so far?
I mean, you're always going to strike comparisons, but I think statistically we've shown excellent results in terms of clean sheets, consistency of clean sheets, consistency of games winning. I think look at the amount of goals that we're scoring in almost every game.
Yeah.
We're scoring almost every game, so we've got goals, clean sheets, player performances that are exceptional, loads of different goal scorers. I mean, we limited Arsenal to the lowest ever this season, lowest amount of expected goals and opportunities in their first half at their home ground. So I just think that you can tell the style of football. I think, you know, it's funny, when I first came in, everyone was going, we're not playing with width, and actually the width has just come from fullback, so it's come from then wide and rotation.
Yeah.
And I think there's individual milestones, like for example Leah Golton scoring the most goals she scored for the club last season, by coming in field and invading, and so I think just the style of play, I've tried to make us attractive, as well as, you know, aggressive with and without the ball. We've still got loads of steps to make, but where we are right now, we're not the finished article, but it's hopefully a good sign to everybody that look, we're here to stay and we're here to show our intent.
The club have recently announced that Polly Bancroft's coming as head of women's football.
Yeah.
How have you found working with Polly so far?
I've known Polly for a long time. When I was in and around Birmingham area, she worked with the county FA, and I've known her from there. But I think she's going to do a magnificent job here. So even our relationship from the start here, working together, it's aligned. We are looking at how we can invest on and off the field, what direction the club needs to go in. She's very open to the feedback and communication, but is very driven in the way that she sees football as well. So I think it's going to be an excellent addition to the team.
So what's your match day routine? Do you have any superstitions?
Do you know what? It's crazy. If it's an evening game, I'm allowed a coffee in the day because I quite like coffee. But if it's a morning game, there's no chance because then you're just on edge for the whole of the game. If we're at home, it will just be good morning with the family. Breakfast, leave to the game, and then really it's just about focusing. I take my notes, I review my notes, make sure that we've got our protocols in place for the game, management strategies, how we could adapt the game. And then really nothing, it's music in the car on the way in. Varied music, I can't tell you which ones it is, but it's varied music. And then really just allowing yourself, as a manager, there's so many pressures that you actually just for a second have to remind yourself of the privileged position you're in, and that actually you reflect on, have I made the right decisions, all of these. There's a million things run through our heads.
Who's the most competitive player in training?
Do you know what? Honestly, there's not one. They all. So Nikita is, Tooney is, Zell is, and I mean this is verbally, this is physically. But I could name Rachel Williams in that. I could name Maya Letitia in that. I could name, like, if you flip a different game, they can all have a different focus. But I think that you see that on the pitch.
Yeah, you do.
You see the energy of even the other day, we didn't want to lose that game.
Yeah.
It's like on a Baji in a 1v1. I don't think anyone can beat her. Like, it's those different players. So I could literally list almost all of them.
When the fixtures are released, is there one game that you look at and go, that's the one?
I mean, usually the Old Trafford game, because that would be great.
Yeah.
We look at the dates and so on. But you look at what order they come in, of course, because you usually get a run of games which probably be favourable, and then you get the block of teams where you're consistently playing against the top teams at the top. But no, there's not one. There's not one to look at anymore and go, this. My mindset is very much business now.
Toulouse was our first pre-season European trip for 3 years or so. What was that experience like for you?
It was a. Do you know, it was good because we didn't have the hotels weren't the best of kind of like areas for us to be in, but the players got on with it. They created their own atmosphere, they created their own environment. The training pitches weren't particularly the greatest training pitches, which is great because it means that you have to find solutions around that. For me, it was so important to get the players together, and we'll do that again, and we'll look at potentially something in this window over the winter period just to make sure that we get the players together in order to focus on us as a group. You know how special our group is together.
Yeah.
So it's important those moments help us to gel those kind of relationships.
We're going to finish off with some quick fire questions, and I have to be honest.
You did this last time.
I know I did.
Come on, man.
There is one I am particularly nervous about the answer
Oh
on.
no.
So,
here we go.
Daytime or evening kickoff?
Evening.
Favourite kit this season?
Do you know what? Up until this point, I'm gonna go the green one after that performance because it just made us look amazing. So the green kit.
Favourite takeaway?
As in food?
Yeah.
Indian curry.
Pineapple on the pizza, yes or no?
No chance.
Right answer.
That when the question was that you worried about.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, no chance.
And finally, favourite Christmas movie?
Home Alone. Oh, without a doubt, we watched it with Sadie the other day. It was her first moment. I've actually got photos when she was a baby watching it. She didn't know what was going on, and then we've got photos of us watching it together when she's 4 now. So, Home Alone, without a doubt, my most favourite movie.
Thanks for coming on again, Mark, and thank you.
No, thank you, and thank you for your wonderful support as always, and long may that continue.
Thank you.